This is episode number 30 of 97.7 The Outlands. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight's going to be a fantastic episode. If you're listening on TikTok Live, thank you for being here. If you're listening anywhere else, Spotify, YouTube, thank you so much as well. Speaking of which, you can find the show. You can find the show in a lot of places nowadays. You can find us mainly on Spotify, 97.7 The Outlands. You can find us on YouTube, 97.7 The Outlands, and also on Twitter. At the same handle as well. You'll be able to find all the episodes on my socials as well. In my link tree there is a link to all the shows. So no need to worry if you're looking for the shows or any past episodes. That's where they'll be. This episode number 30, is going to be a banger. I always say that, but it's it always comes true. Every time I say it's a banger, it always comes true. So this episode, we're gonna go through the news and a little bit of the competitive corner. Crazy stuff happening in competitive right now. And then we're going to talk to a friend of the show, Jbish. Jbish is the resident skill locking revenant, and he's just an absolutely great guy, one of my personal friends, and he's just an absolute pillar of this community. So it's an absolute pleasure to get him on the show. So we're gonna go with him. He's gonna be at 8:30, so we got a little bit of time to get through this this little part of the show. If it takes us a little bit more than 25 minutes, then what we'll do is I'll just edit it at the end and we'll just finish off where we left off, because I do want to get through every single piece of news item. I think I can get through it in the 25 minutes before JB joins us, but in any case, depending on how you experience this episode, it might be a little bit different. So, starting off in the news, Apex player Nesposito, he is the highest ranking, and when I say ranking, he is the highest account level of any Apex players at all. He's level 9,400 and something. So, insane. 9,000 levels when the level cap is 500. So, he was banned for 8 years by Apex just recently. Just today, he was banned for 8 years. So that is going to be a little bit of an interesting topic, because we don't know exactly why he was banned, but he was banned. So in the past, he's been accused of some bot lobbying stuff, and some of those accusations have actually come to fruition. There's been proof that he's been doing bot lobby glitches and stuff like that. He was the number one lifeline, technically still is. I don't know if he maintains that record well. He's banned, but he was the number one lifeline of any other players, and he also was accused of doing some not great things, talking to minors and stuff like that. So it's excellent that we got him out of the community. Chances are he'll just create another account and just be back instantly anyways. But for now, Nesposito is banned, and he'll have to figure out how to get a new system or something. So that's a lot of people were celebrating the fact that Nesposito got banned for 8 years. Which, if Apex is still alive in 8 years, he'll be able to go get his heirlooms again, I guess. But that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of time to be spent. And he's not a good dude, and I don't feel bad for him. But you know what? It looks good on him. I'll say that. So the next little piece of tidbit of information we got from the Apex Mobile dev team. We got a origin story of Fade. It follows him and his father and his brother, I think, explaining how he got the Fade kind of equipment and the powers that make him Fade. So that's really interesting. It was really, really well done. I really haven't played Apex Mobile since the launch date, but it was pretty good. It was entertaining. It's only 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. It was very well done. I enjoyed it. So the next piece of news is that there's going to be an Apex Legends cafe opening in Japan, and of course it has to happen. It has to open thousands and thousands of miles away from where I'm at, because I would absolutely love to experience an Apex Legends cafe, but in Japan, Apex Legends culture is just something else. I'd love to experience that one day, but it's going to be opening in Japan. There's going to be a number of Nessie-themed... Hi, Denim. My cat's here with me. Number of Nessie-themed items, number of Apex Legends-themed food items, and it's going to be really cool. So I think that's opening a little bit later in the year, and that's going to be really interesting to see all the different photos and videos of the... Because from the pictures I've seen, even the cafe itself is going to be Apex Legends themed. It's not just going to be a cafe with like Nessie and all these different food items. It's actually going to be an Apex Legends cafe. Hopefully, I don't I don't really know if this is even theoretically possible or if this makes business sense at all. But hopefully, I can still hold this hope. Hopefully, one of them gets announced and made near me, because I'd live in that place if I could. So next up, we got the 13.1 patch. That was on Tuesday. We got that. It updated the crafting rotation. It updated the collection event. We got the Valk heirloom. We got the lifeline buff as well. A lot of people aren't saying it's enough, and I haven't played lifeline since the quote unquote buff. And if you're not familiar with the buff, it was her DOC drone got infinite healing. Still is only available for that 20 seconds. It's out, but in that 20 seconds, it can heal as much as possible. So that was really good, and also the range at which it is able to heal got expanded as well. So that was the main one. The other one was that her care package no longer has a beam. The cooldown on her care package was also reduced by 1 minute and 30 seconds or so. And then on her revive, your teammates that are being revived now have the option to opt out. So a lot of different things, like 5-6 items at Lifeline got changed, but a lot of people are saying that it wasn't enough, and and I've seen some clips of because the Doc's drone is now the range is doubled. It's now getting into situations where it's healing enemies while also you're trying to fight them. So it kind of does a little bit of the opposite of what was intended. What's up, Cat? Hope you're doing well, my man. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. We're just chatting about the 13.1 patch, and it was kind of a little bit underwhelming. Obviously, the feedback from the Valkyrie heirloom has been excellent with all the secret animations, and she has because she has the helmet one, where she brings out her dad's helmet. She has the animation where she plays with the rocket thing. I saw a Apex Legends playing card animation. I saw the ramen, of course. The heirloom is really, really cool. And I saw on Twitter the comparison between Valkyrie's heirloom and then Wraith's heirloom. Man, if Wraith's heirloom was released now in season 13, it would be a lot better. I don't even know what the animations would be, but it probably wouldn't just be spinning. Jackwack, thanks for the likes, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot, dude. So it's kind of interesting to think about, what would Wraith's heirloom look like if it was released now. She also has a door break animation like Watson. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, I can't even think of what that is. Because Watson's is cool. Yeah. poor Wraith mains. And if Wraith is your only heirloom, oh my gosh. I mean, even the lifelines comparatively in Pathfinders as well, I get to a certain extent is a little bit lackadaisical when compared to Valks. But all in all, still good. Very, very good feedback regarding that heirloom, and by all accounts, EA and Respawn made an absolute bag on that. So I think I saw a lot of people buy it. A lot of people cough up the $160 it takes to get it. So that's good. That's good for the game. I mean, a lot of people would say fix the game before you buy stuff, but hey, it helps fix the game if we buy stuff, I guess. Theoretically, if people are buying stuff, the game should get better. That's the hope, anyways. Loba's still broken. Kind of disappointing about that. JB, what's going on, bro? Loba's still broken. It wasn't as widespread as it was before, but I'm still getting 1 in 10, 1 in 15 bracelets just refusing to work. So that's not ideal. But I did see on Twitter that the devs expressed that they're working on a solution, and then it's been about a month and a half since that broke. How are we doing for time here? Ooh, 15 minutes before JB. 15 minutes before JB. We got a lot to go through in 15 minutes, but I think we can. We're doing well. We're doing well so far. Over to... What's up, JB? I'm doing good. Would I rather have Loba be broken or the frame rate drop again? Oh my god, dude, I remember that. That was... During the frame rate drop, bro, that was the worst I've ever felt about Apex. Like, when it dropped to, like, 12 frames per second whenever you fought somebody. Oh my god, that was the worst Apex experience ever. I would gladly take a broken Loba. I play her for the loot anyways. And the other part of Loba, as well. So, the loot, that's all I mean. Speed round, I think we can do it. We have some pretty fucking heavy shit at the end with Liquid Casper to talk about. But that's basically like playing on the Switch. Oh my gosh. That would like legitimately give me a headache. I couldn't deal with it. Like, man, every fight just felt so bad on those frames. It was horrible. I'm cringing even thinking about it. But to answer your question, Kat, yes, I would take a broken Loba 1,000 times out of 1,000 if frames are fixed. But one issue that I've heard with this patch has been the input lag on next gen consoles. Thank God I still got my trusty PS4 here. But there's been some input lag issues with next gen consoles. Jack Wack is the Switch demon. Is that your primary console? My God. Bless your soul, Jack Wack. Bless your soul. On to the Apex competitive corner here. Private lobbies are now stable again. So that with the 13.1 patch, they are now stable again, which is fantastic news, because that means we're going to get scrims back. It was about, we're sitting about 10 days out from, not 10 days, that's bad math, about 15 or so days out from the Apex LAN, and now the pro players are going to be able to scrim again, and they are scrimming. Gonna mash X10. Really? So JB, you're experiencing? Oh my gosh. I saw a comparison of the input lag between like P20 shots. Yikes, that still can't feel very good. Jack White, you're not on Switch now, but you were for a while. Made to plat when Fuse come out. Oh my, Fuse on plat would have been on Switch would have been just mayhem. Cat's still hoping for customs for all, dude. That would make some crazy content for Apex would just explode if that were to happen, right? If you're just able to jump in and mess around, and do stuff, that'd be incredible. We'd have customs every night. Back to the point about the scrims being back. Some of the standout teams so far that I've seen are Optic, TSM, Unite, from APAC North, and Furia are really doing well so far. And Furia is interesting because they just replaced Tech before the previous LAN, and with his Watson, who is currently the #1 Predator. And another interesting thing about Furia is it looks like they are going to be playing Seer, Valkyrie, and Mad Maggie for the Apex Championships. So that's kind of looks like the plan right now. Whether or not they go with that moving forward, it's a little bit scary not having a Gibby, but that's quite the combination. His Watson's cracked. He is insane, bro. Like, insane. But yeah, they're playing Mad Maggie, which makes so scary not having a Gibby, but I think it could work, especially pairing Mad Maggie with Seer. His Watson and Hal's beef on Twitter just gives you life. It's so good, bro. I think I'm Team Hal on this one. I love his Watson, but I think I'm rooting for Hal on this one. He needs it. But the reason why I think Mad Maggie could do really well in the ALGS is because her kit is pretty non-functional until you get somebody cornered, right? Until you're able to pressure them so hard that they are forced to fight you, right? So in that comp, right, you just kind of bide your time, hopefully stay alive with Valkyrie and Mad Maggie, and then once you get a team cornered, you pressure with Mad Maggie, you ult them out of their corners, you L1 them out of their corners, and then, the Mad Maggie's obviously going to be carrying a Peacekeeper or a Mastiff or something, and then you put the Seer ult down, and then that pressure all of a sudden turns into a clean sweep. So Mad Maggie could absolutely run shit, and we saw Mad Maggie in the previous LAN as well. I think it was the former Major Pushers team, Team Empire. They ran on Stormpoint. They ran a Mad Maggie Valkyrie Bloodhound comp, which is essentially the same thing, right? Just Seer provides more information. You pressure, get somebody cornered, then you scan, Mad Maggie ult, L1, push them out, and then all of a sudden you're able to just capitalize on that information. Fire drill versus the bubbles. I saw a clip just recently too. Yeah, you just popped out on the inside, and then all of a sudden they have nowhere to go. So, maybe that's the reason why they're not running Gibby, right? Because if they're able to just take ownership of that bubble right away, right? Because if theoretically, if your Mad Maggie, puts her tactical on that bubble, her teammates can just walk right in, right? So, that's it's going to be very interesting. I think that she can run thing if they do well. And Kat, to your point, as long as she can get to the later zones, she'll be really good. That's the thing, right? That's the thing you worry about not having a Gibby. Are they going to be able to cross? Are they going to be able to hold space? Are they going to be able to do this and that? If they're able to survive, and Furia's been absolutely aping everybody, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. It's just whether or not if they get called out on rotations. That's my only fear with them. It's either going to go very well or it's going to go very, very badly. But I think, it kind of, if Mad Maggie, what's up, Milkman? How's it going, dude? If Mad Maggie turns out to be really, really good in the ALGS, I think it's going to end up being sort of bad for the casual Mad Maggie player, right? Because same with Gibby, right? We've seen this with Gibby. He's not really played at the casual level. People don't really find that much enjoyment in playing him. But in Apex competitive, he absolutely runs shit. I appreciate that, Milkman. Dude, I'm happy to be back. We're happy to be grinding again. We're going to be live on Twitch tonight as well. We're going to be grabbing some games with Mr. T-Steak as well. So, yeah, so if Mad Maggie ends up being really, really good in the ALGS, that probably means that she won't get any buffs, going into casual play, or else she'll just be too dominant, too intrusive in the ALGS, which is, it's going to be bad for the casual Mad Maggie player, because she just won't get the love she deserves, and she'll continue to have that 1.6, 1.7% pick rate, which is not good. Next up, before we get, we got plenty of time, we're chilling. You think Hal was also mad about the top 3 ranked playing together? Oh, like 6, and, I guess who else would be 6, Keon, and his Watson, that squad? He can't really be... Pride glasses, let's go! Thank you, Milkman. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good complaint to have, because he is playing with pros, right? So I guess his theory is that they'll all be gaining RP together, and then they're gonna move up with him and without him, I guess. But he's playing with pros as well, and honestly, not much to me separates the, if Hal's playing with a top 50 Predator, right, there's not much difference between him and Kyun, who's top 3, I think. Yeah. I definitely see his gripe, but also, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he just has to be better. Broke into the second spot for a bit. I think last I checked, he was at 33.9, and his Watson was at 35. 35 and a bit. So he's like 1,200, 1,300 down, which is a lot of RP. And I think there's, what, like 5 days left? I'm still Team Hal. I think he can do it. I think he can do it. Kyun is filthy too. Yeah, dude. I just saw on Twitter. I think it was actually his Watson tweet. Like saying why he hasn't been signed by a pro. That dude is literally like top 3 Predator every single split. No matter what, lock it in. Top 3 Pred. Insane. A pro team absolutely does need to pick him up because his Watson is clearly shown. I say that, they don't have any LAN championships or anything like that yet, but so far in scrims, his Watson has proved that ranked grinding, translate at least a little bit towards pro play. And I'm going to take a big sip. It's hot. And take a little bit of time here because a hat. Thank you. I think I put a mustache on me too. Thank you, Milkman. I appreciate that, bro. And you were asking about this, Milkman, but I did get access to the TikTok subscription program. Somebody invited me. I don't know who, but thank whoever invited me. I think I now have that access, and I was able to put some emotes and stuff too. They're just my Twitch emotes right now, but progress nonetheless. So the next point is a little bit heavier. It's kind of the craziest thing I've ever seen in Apex competitive and also in all of esports. I've never seen anything like this. And we need to talk about Liquid Casper. The former Liquid Casper, he no longer plays on Liquid. He was dropped from the team in June 2021. But since then, he has... Dude, Milkman just subscribed! Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. First subscription, let's go. I hope it's functional for you. I hope you're able to get good use of that, Milkman. I appreciate that, bro. That's awesome. But going back to Liquid Casper, he has gotten himself into quite a bit of trouble and really exposed himself for some really, really bad behavior. So about 10 days ago, there's a tweet from Liquid Hodzik, the current coach of Team Liquid, saying that Casper is not affiliated with them because he's been scamming people. So there's been some graphics cards, some PS5, some other computer equipment that he's sold to people on Twitter and then not delivered. So this has happened upwards of a dozen times, and then he just has not delivered and just kept the money. So that is already bad enough. But what came out recently, there's a streamer called named Sarah Marie. She streams on Twitch. She's an Apex Legends content creator. She revealed, and I do hope to make a video about this to get more of the facts right and to have more of a scripted kind of voice about it, so I can get every single detail, because this is it's just a complete web of lies and just spirals out of control. So Casper, he impersonated multiple Team Liquid officials. He impersonated the HR director of Team Liquid. He impersonated the owner, the CEO, the coaches, all convincing Sarah that she was going to be signed, that she was going to do this, do that. He convinced her that she was going to be getting an apartment with $2,500 rent that was going to be paid for Team Liquid. He convinced her that she was doing photo shoots for Team Liquid. He convinced her that she was getting a car, all due to Team Liquid. And then obviously all of this stuff fell through. So she's now in the hole about all these different things. And Kat, it's insane, bro. And so, like, she posted a Google document explaining all these different things. And like I said, I do hope to make a video about this so I can get literally every single detail correct about this. But he impersonated people, right? And specifically the HR director of Team Liquid, Mora. And her and Sarah Sarah not knowing that she was talking to Casper, they became close. She was venting to Tamora. She was doing all this, talking to him all of the time. It was Casper. All these different conversations, like 20 plus conversations about being signed, doing this, doing that, and it was all Casper. All this manipulation by Casper. He pretended to lose his dog, and he pretended to do all these different things. And one of the things that Liquid Casper has really done is he's used mental health as a scapegoat, and threatened to harm himself a lot. And obviously that's not come to fruition. He's just kind of using that as a, hopefully he does not harm himself. I truly hope nothing happens to him. He's a terrible person, but I truly hope that he does not harm himself and gets the help he needs. But he's used harming himself as an excuse for a lot of different bad behaviors and why he's done this. So unfortunately, Sarah was not the only victim in this. Another Twitch streamer, Nesface, who's exploded on TikTok, over 180,000 subscribers. He manipulated her into, he tried to get her to send him nudes, to create an OnlyFans. He created multiple fake accounts to harass her. Specifically with this one, he paid a friend to take the fall for all of this bad behavior. Obviously, the friend, not knowing exactly the extent of this behavior, it took that, and it's just completely unraveled. And Casper's at the core. And Kat, I agree. That's, especially considering everything that's happened, no excuse. So it ultimately ended up with Casper being detained by the police for a moment. I don't know how long it was, but he was at one point detained, and his Twitter profile is now deleted. It's gone. But at one point he said he was going to harm himself via the police, which is absolutely terrible situation. Again, I hope nothing bad happens to him. I hope that he's able to get the help he needs. But this is an insane situation of which I've never seen before, and just the extent of the manipulation and the extent of the lies that Liquid Casper has created, a former Apex Pro Liquid Casper has created, is just insanity. So that's kind of hopefully being resolved, and we're a little bit late for JB. I got a little bit carried away there, but we're gonna refresh. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. We're gonna get JB on. I do, like I said, I'm gonna make a video on that, get all the facts straight. But that's just, my mind is spinning just thinking about that. Yeah, they did. And presume, I think the Ness stuff was happening while he was still employed by Team Liquid. The Sarah Marie stuff happened after he was dropped from the team, but he kept his Team Liquid email. He kept his Team Liquid, his Twitter account was Team Liquid Casper, right? So all these different things, he just basically pretended he was still affiliated with them, which is crazy. So let's get JB on. Jbish on Twitch, Jbish on Twitter, is a friend of the show. We know him. We love him very much. He is an absolute powerhouse of a Revenant, and just a great guy. So we're going to get him on the show. He'll, of course, do a better intro than I am able to for him. But let's see if he is online for us. And look at that. Let's go. JB coming aboard. I sent the invite out. We'll see if he comes on. Jbish, what's going on?
Stereoomike. How we doing, baby?
Good. We got Wookie in the background. That's awesome.
Had to have Wookie in the background. He said it's his favorite podcast, bro. He wanted a frontline seat.
That's awesome. I said at the beginning this would be a dub, and we've already got a Wookiee sighting, so how could it not be a dub at this point?
You know what they say, no show is complete without having a dog on scene.
There you go. My cat's around here somewhere. I don't know where she's at, but we'll maybe see an appearance of her. JB, so, my community knows you very well. Obviously, the TikTok community knows you very well as well. But for anybody listening to this podcast, can you give a little bit of a brief rundown of who Jbish is?
Sure. Well, My name is Jack Bishop. You shorten that up, you get Jbish. I love the character Revenant in the game Apex Legends, and I love making goofy ass songs and crazy strategies, and that has sort of been my passion for the last 2 years. You may know me from my hit song, the RE45 anthem, a parody of Linkin Park's In the End. It starts with one thing in RE45. Maybe you know me from that. Maybe you know me from random Revs plays, but other than that, I am just excited to be here with my favorite man's stereoomike.
Excellent, JB. I think this is your first appearance on the podcast, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Third.
Third. My
Third.
gosh. Do I have amnesia?
Dude, I was the second guest ever. That was like the third guest ever.
Oh my gosh. I guess I just cherish every moment we're together like it's my first time being with the JB. So that's great. I mean, I'll have to look back at the archive and listen to those shows again. But that's
Some good
fantastic,
nuggets.
JB. Thank you so much for coming on. And right off the top here, one thing I want to talk about is joining your stream is an interesting experience. It's a fantastic experience, and it's one that's like not very common around Twitch. And I feel like you have your own really unique style of streaming and content. How did you develop that?
Well, to be completely honest with you, it became very apparent to me early on that I was not going to be the guy pulling viewers for the skill, you know? Like, so you want to try and figure out how can I be entertaining? Okay, I'm a midday television. What am I? And I always wanted to be a stream my homies could watch while at work. Well, my homies usually watch TV shows at work. So I was like, what if I try to make this feel as much like a TV show as possible? So every little thing that I do, from custom ad reads to naming arcs and random episodes, to my random announcer voice that I model after one of my favorite shows. I always just try to make it feel as much like a show as I can, because I kind of feel like not enough people try to make it a show, you know? Like a stream should feel like you're kind of like getting something each and every day.
100%. I feel like personally that's a bad habit I get into a lot. Just kind of click live and then you're just playing Apex. That's it, right? But yeah, JP, it's like you said, it's a complete unique experience, and it's a unique experience every single time. One of my favorite is the skill locking question of the day. It's always interesting and dynamic. How was your? I guess how was your stream this afternoon? You streamed at like 2 o'clock today.
Stream out absolutely phenomenal. We had a couple people coming in and raiding, a couple new friends coming in, and we just, as always, just catching some viewer game dubs and just having some good times. You know, always the best.
Let's go. What was the skill locking question of today?
Mm. Ooh. Oh, who are some characters who you think are truly worthy of their own spin-off series from either TV or movies?
Oh
Truly worthy,
man,
because like you could do like one episode, but I'm talking like a full-on mini series or like multiple films.
yeah. My mind immediately jumps to Jesse Pinkman for
Could
sure.
easily do that, and instead they went the Saul Goodman way.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Wow. I haven't, but I have heard good things.
Yeah, I have too, but the first season was so slow for me, and there was no. I was expecting it to be like completely, interchangeable with the show, and it wasn't. But I heard it was really good. I just don't have patience, I guess.
Yeah.
What would you say to that question?
So I don't know. A couple people in your chat, a couple people in my chat might be fans of the show Naruto. It's an anime, one of the most popular ones, and his dad, spoiler alert, was one of the greatest shinobi of all time, and like his story would have been awesome because like they had a war in this ninja world, Mike, and every country had a rule: if you see this man, you run. It was on site, you run because he will kill you. You have no chance. So like I gotta figure out, I gotta see how a legacy like that gets developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shout out
of
to Yellow
course.
Flash.
Yeah, thanks, Milkman. Um, that's really cool. I do you come up with the. I guess you probably come up with it before the show. Do you have like a big huge bank of questions that you want to ask, or is it just kind of dynamic?
So much like everything that I do with this stream, most of it just comes to me the last like 30 minutes before stream. I'll be driving to go get my, hold on, where is it? JB's Jet Fuel, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. And normally I'll come up with like the question of the day, random topics I want to go over. It's kind of just like my brainstorming time. You know what I mean?
Let's
I'll think
go.
for like
Little bit of stimulation.
a little
I
bit.
hear Dunkin' Donuts does that for a lot of people. So the parodies you also mentioned quickly about the RE45 one. I think has just received massive success on TikTok. I wanted to ask you, how do you brainstorm those? How does that happen?
So the RE45 one just kind of, that one actually was the first one ever, and it just happened like out of nowhere. Like one day I like picked it up, and like I was like, it starts with one thing, and RE45, and my boys in the party just started cracking up. They're like, yo, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm just brainstorming. And like after a couple months I started coming up with verses and whatnot. But now it's kind of like whenever I'm just listening to music, sometimes something just hits me. Like I was at a barbecue just tossing some beer dye with my buddy Rick Has a Hammer, who's a member of my chat, and the song Ramblin' Man came on. And all of a sudden he goes, yo, JB, check this out. Lord, I was born a revenant man. And I was like, oh my God. So like if you're like constantly looking for it, I swear to God, you can turn almost any song into a random Apex parody if you try hard enough.
That's awesome. So it
Random.
probably starts with like one line and then kind of grows and grows and grows.
Exactly. Sometimes you get like a couple lines, sometimes you just get one like quick verse and you're just like, okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. No, I gotta have the chat keeps me humble though. I pitch it to them, I'm like, should we go with this one? And they're like, nah, trash. And I'm like, we're good. Because I got a couple, like most artists, I got like 6 or 7 tracks that I'm sitting on, but everybody told me please do not release those ones. We may not be able to associate with you anymore. So
Kat actually says he wants to see a Call Me Maybe parody.
we can work on that. We can work on that.
I'm gonna be stewing about that one. I'll see if I can think of a line before the end of the stream.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good one. Man, I just and this is crazy. So here's my skill lock. Call me. That's too easy. That's too easy.
Oh no, no, hold. But here's my totem. Push with me, maybe. Ooh.
Yes.
Push with me.
There you go.
Push with me, maybe. Maybe I don't know. I don't. We
It might have legs. It might have legs. So speaking of the parodies, what's your all-time favorite?
It is the RE45 anthem,
That
but
one?
I'll get that's the standard answer though. So I'm gonna give you the really like low key answer. I wrote this one a little while ago, and it's the Bowling for Soup song 1985, and you switch that around to Apex 3 to 5 because seasons 3 to 5 were everybody's favorites, and it's all about just like the sentimental stuff that made those seasons great.
Skill lock, baby.
My man's still caught in Carly Rae Jepsen's world over here, chat. He's still caught in Carly Rae Jepsen's world.
Carly Rae, Canadian, good Canadian girl, that one. So, do you have a parody that's out there that you wish got more love?
I remixed the entire Danny Phantom theme song, and like everybody who like commented on that absolutely loved that one, but it just didn't do well, and it's just because like you either just didn't get it or it's just way too long, which happens with some of those. But
Yeah.
I literally recreated the entire intro to Danny Phantom with like me as the main character instead. It was a really fun day.
Danny Phantom's like low key just underrated in general, I feel like.
Oh yeah, dude, iconic, honestly, and some of his villains too. Like,
yeah, man,
good
what a
show.
good show. Hopefully they don't ruin it with like a reboot or something.
You never know what show they're going to try and ruin with a reboot. That's a sad fact of life that we live in right now, people. That's a sad fact of life we live in.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well let's move on to your main man here, Mr. Revenant. And I believe we've talked about this before, but you were a Pathfinder main previously before Revenant, right?
Yes.
And you have some pretty freaking hefty accolades. Like I'm gonna go through them here, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I get any of the ones that I'm missing here. I had this written down somewhere here. Here we are. So this is all platforms here. You basically have Xbox chalked already. Like that's it. That's a given. But number 1 rev for pistol kills. Number 3 silent target knocks. Number 2 death totem activations. Number 5 silent target. Number 51 in the world for damage. Number 134 all plats for kills. That's insane, JB. First of all, like that's just incredible, my man. To have to be anywhere on the first page of a leaderboard is insane to me.
Real.
What drew you to Revenant?
Okay, so like in the beginning, his trailer was just so awesome. The idea of an assassin, fortune for hire, the greatest assassin in the history of the Outlands, being transformed into a hitman robot and being sent on missions. I was like, oh my god. It was like, this is literally like the coolest. It's just like they took Agent Zero from Hitman and made him a robot for me to use in this game. I was like, okay, let's give this man a shot. And then I tried him, and I was like, okay, there's something here, but he's gonna need a little bit of work, because I truly saw toteming as a way that people who play with less good players could actually take down nasty players, which is what I started to really do. Because I had a couple friends who, my real life friends, like, they work a shit ton, they can't always play, but when they play with me, we're going to use my totem. We're going to beat some people who are way better than we are mechanically, just using strategy and teamwork. And I saw that he was like the one legend that actually really like encouraged team synergy out of anybody. And it was just that and like a total creativity ceiling. So once they took the totem ring off in season 5, I was like, I'm sorry, Pathy, I love you, but they just nerfed you into the ground. They just sent Rev up. Stonks only go up. Rev only goes up.
Was that? I guess that was. Yeah, that was like right about the time they took away Pathfinder's 13-second grapple.
Yeah, that was the last straw for me. I had like, I think like 30 something season 4 wins with Rev, but like as soon as season 5 hit, you can just see I just full on switched.
Right on.
RIP 13
So
second grapple. RIP.
yeah, man, with Valkyrie existing in the fashion that she does. Oh, you got something. I'm listening, JB. Go after
No,
it.
no, no,
Go
no. I
after
want
it.
you to do your statement first, please, please, please,
I
please.
think Valkyrie having the best movement by far of any character on practically no cooldown, practically no limitations. It makes no sense that they took that away from him. It makes zero sense in the grand scheme of things to take that away from him. Because what she's able to do in a fight, Pathfinder couldn't do even with the 13-second grapple. Makes no sense to me.
It's the blatant disrespect. Like Valk got 3 passives. Pathfinder still has not really had his work done. Pathfinders who tell me I love getting my zip line back the second you hit the scan beacon, I get that. That's dope, but like, come on, you know you deserve more. I want you to stop settling for less Pathfinder mains. And then as a Revenant main, 2 seasons before Valkyrie came out, when they buffed Revenant's climbing, what did they do? They took 5 seconds off of totem time, 5 seconds away from the amount that you have people skill locked. And they said, this is to substitute for the fact that you are getting a totem. If that wasn't good enough for them, they nerfed him yet again with the totem nuke. Then what did they do? They gave Valkyrie a jetpack as a passive and no downsides. And it's just the fact that my 2 mains, Pathfinder and Rev, gave up everything. So apparently Valkyrie could fly around all willy-nilly. And it hurts me personally, because I feel like my 2 characters got nerfed and their justification makes no sense when you put Valkyrie into the game.
Yeah, she to me is going to create a lot of issues, like even like characters outside of Valkyrie, like if they're going to have to balance legends based on Valkyrie, like this game is going to be insane. The Pathfinders, the Bangalores, the freaking the Wraiths, even like how do you compete with that? How do you compete? Right?
You skill lock them.
Man.
That's the only thing.
I
The
guess.
great equalizer, bro. We are the one thing that, and in the war against Valkyries, us Revenant mains are out there fighting for our lives, trying to make sure that our squad does not have to put up with those willy-nilly mosquitoes bobbing and weaving all over the place. What up, Cesaro?
Yeah, it's insane. Like I don't know. Like I sometimes think about like how we could possibly nerf Valk without ruining her as a character, and like sometimes I think like if she was released off drop, right, her passive would probably be her tactical, right? That's my thinking. I hate the stun of her missiles. I hate the missiles in general. And if I think if they were to disappear and her jetpack was her tactical and her passive was still the scanning when she's flying or whatever, I think she'd still be a freaking awesome character. She'd probably still be the best in the game. But by now she's not even challenged. Maybe Gibby in the best player in the world's hands, but otherwise, yeah. Cat's saying the only downside is the 1 second no gun when she's flying, but like a good Valkyrie is just like
yeah, all that jazz.
Yeah, Um, all right, so we got a little bit of sidetracked there. I'm glad we went down that route though. So with Rev, I think you mentioned that a lot of people don't take him up a little bit immediately, and a lot of people in the community generally, I see a lot of C tier ratings. I see a lot, some even D tier ratings. Why do some people think that he's a bad legend when clearly you're able to do just incredible things?
Okay, so I think a lot of it really does stem from the fact that for most people who play solo, and a lot of them care about tier lists who are people who play solo, and this is what I've heard from a lot of solo revs, it is brutal because the biggest issue is your teammates in a regular public match will not hit your totem no matter how hard you try to signal to them, please come use my totem. So he was like, bro, I just kind of gave up using it. He's like, I started using it for a distraction to go flank people instead. And then there's the main issue at hand right now, which is the totem nuke. A lot of people are just like, I can't stand the fact that if I place a totem, I'm going to get third partied. But what we worked on, and I've preached this, is if you learn as a Revenant how to harness the fake totem, you can play mind games with other teams and literally use the totem flash to your advantage by just constantly glitching it mid-fight, and so they don't know when you're actually pulling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I
it's
suppose
just
you'd also get those teams that just run in brainless. I saw a totem go off. I'm
yeah.
pushing, and then they just run into a full squad, and then you take your totem, and then all of a sudden it's gone, or the team is gone. That is. And I've honestly I've experienced that as well. Like where you put down a totem, you're like, hey guys, take, please, please, and then they just don't. Is that a totem?
Yeah, it's totem.
That's awesome.
Yo, you know I always keep this thing on me. Come on now. Thank you, Toke. Perfectly timed glasses. Let's go.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's yeah. I think Jack saying remember when he got when Path or when people thought Path was trash when the game just dropped. That's Rev right now.
Ooh,
So
ooh.
yeah, just like in the wrong hands, very C tier, very not good. But in the right hands, will annihilate you. And
Yeah,
same with JB. Yours are the right hands.
it's just there is just a very, very like you got to know what you're doing because if you can't hit silences, that ability becomes useless. I have revs throwing silences at me that literally make my brain hurt. And I have like 6 or 7 clips where I just see like a silence come at me like 15 feet away to the left, and I just go shake my head, just dude. If you do that, if you aren't trying to climb things consistently, and if you don't know how to use your totem and you only get third partied, I can see why a lot of people do think that he's trash because most people only see stuff, dumb stuff like that going on.
By
But
other revenants, yeah.
by other revenants, yes.
Yeah. So that actually kind of leads us into the next point, which fairly well. What do you think is the number one mistake that young rev mains make?
It's just not. It's honestly just not learning your silences right off the bat. That's the bread and butter. Learning how to fight, utilizing them like visual clutter for other people, using them as traps, left righting people, combo tossing with grenades. As soon as you get the skill lock down, a lot of the world of Revenant really opens up to you early on. So I think a lot of people kind of skip that and just they throw without truly like spending time learning the range, learning in the range. Like if I'm sliding down a hill and I want to hit somebody from 60 meters away, this is what that's going to look like. Or standing and just being like, okay, this target's 80 meters away. This is about like the height I'm going to need to like learn and stuff. So it's just repetition, repetition. And they don't skill lock their friends because that's how I got good at it. Just like if a homie's like 20 feet away, just hit him with it real quick. Nice.
That's awesome. I had
Nice.
something I was gonna mention. Um, yeah, completely escaped me. Um, yeah, that doesn't usually happen to me very often. Um, but now I'll just move on here. What is your most niche revenant tip for success? Um, being a revenant.
Niche, two quick niche tips. I got you. So if you are a rev who plays with a team, figure out what characters your friends most like to run and try to develop a strategy around it that the three of you guys can execute at any given time. It will help you dramatically and it'll make you such a better revenant. Two, if you are a rev who plays by yourself, This is called the T-strafe. It is the act of backsliding. Like, a backslide, Mike? You jump into the air, slide backwards. Okay, but what you can do as revs, you can stay crouched in a backslide and go left, right, really quick. If you silence, right? So say you unload half a mag, silence in front of you, and then T-slide, like backslide behind your silence, and then shift between which side. People really struggle with it, and that is my one strafe that I use that I never have run up against with another rev.
That would
So
be that would be
niche
really
tips for
interesting to
solo
see in
revs.
video form, JB. That'd
Yeah.
be really interesting.
Mm.
And me and Jack actually worked through what I was gonna say. We remembered is about a year ago. It must have been probably even more of a year ago. You had a video in Fragment where you were skill locking and you were throwing grenades as well. I remember it clear as day. I don't see Revenants do that at all. I don't see them shooting their guns while doing that. I don't see them. Are you able to heal while silencing? Like, that's insane. And I don't think
you can start. Yeah, you can heal while silencing. You just gotta start the heal then silence.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jack says, yeah, use it as a blinding tool. That's a. I mean, Rev is probably like one of the more like tiered legend. Whereas if you're just able to unlock him, the more and more and more you play, which I imagine has fueled your love for him.
People ask me every single day, Jbish, how on earth do you consistently keep playing the same exact legend? And I say, because when you play Revenant, you don't play one legend, you play every single legend. Because depending on who you're playing with, the totem pushes can look different. The combos can look so different. And it allows for the highest creativity ceiling of any character I've ever played in any video game. That was what Pathfinder was originally. I thought his creativity ceiling was so high because like with the zips and the graps and everything. But Rev just allows you to explore every avenue of your creativity. The world becomes your oyster. It's crazy.
That's really cool. The reason I play one legend exclusively is because I just can't function without loot. So that's me. That's just
yes, sir.
Me.
Loot King, chat.
So we talked about this on your stream a little bit ago. But another significant revenant in the community, Soup Sniffer on TikTok, he recently retired the legend in favor of Ash. It's a little bit of a two-parter here. Do you ever see that happening for yourself? And if so, who'd you go to?
I'll play Revenant until the day this game is over.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, he's patched out tomorrow. Who do you play?
Unless the totem's gone.
Oh.
You can't take away Jbish's totems.
Right.
If the totems walk, I probably walk.
So like, would you like even if like I hear ideas floated around every once in a while, but like only Rev can take and he can wall run and melee, like all that stuff. You don't like that? Not a fan?
Those ideas make my brain hurt. They would be fun, but it's just like no, please, no,
Yeah.
please, no, please, no.
So who would you play?
Okay, if a sniping theme legend ever came out, I would go to him because like long range has always been one of my favorite things, and I've always thought it'd be dope to have a legend whose like ultimate was like a. Imagine pulling out a Kraber, but you get one bullet as an ultimate.
I think that low-key might be coming soon, JB. Like I don't want to. I know you don't like leaks, but
I hope this is not another thing you're trying to rope me into, Michael. Okay, all right, little joke. Yeah, you got a little something for me. Okay,
a little funny.
Yeah, a little funny. Yeah, got another one of those, huh?
Oh, you'll never trust me the same. I do apologize, but I might do it again. We'll see. That's awesome. And before JB decides against doing another podcast with me, we're gonna move on. So the RE45 is your staple, and it's kind of similarly niche, right? What has drawn you to the gun, say, over the alternator or the R301, which in a lot of circles could be considered quote unquote better? But what has drawn you to the RE?
So all right, the short answer is one of my friends from college told me to use it one day, and I got a 10-kill game with it instantly. And I was like, dude, I feel like such a badass like assassin rolling around right now with this thing. And I was like, the more I thought, I was like, like Rev used pistols and like his trailer was like, maybe this man's just meant to use pistols or something. And then like, so in the beginning there was swag, right? But then like as I'm playing him, I'm like, his strafe speed is so fast with pistols. I was like, this is interesting. So when you combine Revenant with an RE45, between the strafe speed, like while ADS and your crouch strafe, and the reload speed on that, it complements his kit really freaking well. Um, and then there's the satisfaction of always being able to beat people with weapons that when they think they have a better weapon than you, like playing ranked arenas and making masters in the Spitfire season, the Rampage season. Like I take pride in the fact that I was fighting with a blue RE45 against LMGs consistently. Like I
Yeah.
know those kids were probably punching air when they got lasered. Something good that
Yeah.
feels bad. It feels good.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. I definitely have to give that more of a go. The one thing that drives me crazy, and it probably drives you crazy too, is the 16 bullets on Gray drives me mental. But that's my only gripe.
I have hit. Hold on. I have hit in my entire career. I hit one. It was a 218 no mag RE mag on a seer from literally like 3 feet away. I think it was all headshots. You can do it. It's possible, but those 19 shots from a gray mag will make a world of difference. That's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
absolutely. Um, so you also mentioned ranked arenas, and you're a double master at this point, I believe. Double, triple, double.
Maybe
We'll
triple.
say
I don't
triple.
know.
We'll say
We'll
triple.
say triple.
We'll say triple.
I think I made it last season. Maybe.
Anyways, high level ranked arenas player. In your opinion, what's the state of play there? Like, how are things going in ranked arenas?
Okay, so like there's like a sweet spot in ranked arenas, right? If you play ranked arenas from like after the first 2 weeks of the season starts up until right before the last 2 weeks of the season, you will have such a good time. You'll run into a couple teams here and there who are really cheesy or like unbelievably good and sweaty. But like there's a really good sweet spot where you'll be able to gain a lot of AP even if you're solo queuing like I do consistently, and you'll get a lot better. Those first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks are absolutely miserable. Every team will only be using either Mozambique's with Mad Maggie and Bangalore with just smokes and or digis or just devos, and just it seems like when everybody gets pressed to try to hit the rank that they want to, everybody throws their morality out the window and everybody becomes the cheesiest mofo this side of Mississippi. So it's not great, Mike. It's really fun for like half the season, but it's not great towards the end.
If you were in charge of such changes, what would you change about ranked arenas?
All right, this has been my brainchild for a while now. I want a blocking phase. Right after your buy phase, say you and I are in an arenas game, you and I are matched up. Somebody else on our team is matched up with somebody else on their team. You have a 1v1 matchup. You can pay money to block your one-on-one matchup from using that gun for 1 round. You cannot block the same gun back-to-back rounds. I think it would allow for people to use strategy-saving materials to make sure that teams can't cheese them with certain weapons. You would make it so like one person would block one gun 1 round, block it the next round, and triple stacking of the same weapons is the biggest issue in arenas, in my honest opinion. I think the blocking phase is a reasonable solution to prevent teams from triple stacking the same weapon.
Mm. Do you think also removing hop ups would go a decent way to improving things?
Okay, maybe, but like Mike, won't everybody just won't all those people with the Spitfire still have like I mean the Devo's gone
Right.
out of that, but
Yeah.
there are still a
Hammer
lot of
points.
very, very
Yeah.
problematic weapons that don't even have a hop up.
Right.
Maybe pay for hop ups and make it
Mm-hmm.
actually fairly expensive.
Yeah.
Like they have to start raising the iron price though, Mike. I can buy a Hammer Points RE for 850 materials. It is not fair, and that is why I am able to buy my teammates bats. It's why I can buy fuses, grenades. It's why every single round I go, y'all, I have 900 materials. Does anybody want anything? And my randoms are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, my stuff does not cost anything. I got you. Just let me know. So like they
Yeah.
got to really take a hard look at the prices and figure out what they are doing wrong, because people can afford certain things they should not be able to afford way too often.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe charging for hop ups will like stop that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I mean, yeah, if you want, honestly, like I'm fine with somebody wanting to run the devotion, but that same person is not going to run the devotion unless it has turbo, right? So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I think it can be really good, and a lot of Apex players can continually dismiss the mode as it's crap or it's whatever. But like honestly, like I and I'm sure you may feel this way too. Like when it's good, it feels like the best version of Apex, in my opinion. It's you against them. Nobody's coming to for them. It's just gun skill against gun skill, Apex skill against Apex skill.
It has helped make solo queuing ranked arenas because they will pair you up with anybody no matter what rank you are in, will make you such a better player. I learned I I can hit 2v1s. I can hit an occasional 3v1, and that's kind of where I really learned to do that. And you can polish skills that you don't often can get yourself into those like situations. I love the mode, and I just have to say this: the ranked arenas community is some of the best people that I have ever met in Apex. I solo it every single morning. I always say, "What up? Anybody got mics?" And I have met some of the nicest, chillest, funniest people. They're not always the best players. That's what you have to deal with in ranked arenas. Sometimes you're gonna get the coolest guys in the world, and they're gonna give you a combined 1,000 damage. But if you put them on your back, they'll love you forever.
Yeah,
But I just cannot say enough. The ranked arenas community is a great group of people. Can't say it enough.
right on. So my last topic of the night here, we've got a look. I mean, just great conversations always lead to a little bit of a lengthy one, which is fine. But my last one, before we get into a little bit of a game here, your Apex competitive fantasy. That is really interesting. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
So there's the whole idea of fantasy sports in this world right now, where if you are a fan of a certain sport, you can draft players from your favorite different teams, and they score points for you, and you can play against your friends in season long. And it one day occurred to me when I was staring at my app for DraftKings, my daily fantasy app, that they had fantasy sports for League of Legends, for Valorant, for the COD League, and I was like, why don't we have this for Apex? I was like, there are so many great players out there that I know people watching like ALGS LAN would love to be able to draft their favorite players. So they could say, I'm rooting for this guy. Like, he's on my team. Like, you can compete against your friends. You can compete to win money. And I just see a whole new world where people truly start like falling for like their players. You know what I mean? Because people fell in love with the player aspect when fantasy football blew up. Like people started to know these guys, and people know their streamers already. And I just think there's just a whole new wave of fandom that could really be brought in if we can keep it going. So
Yeah. Are
yeah.
you? I guess we have two pretty big events coming up. We got Zaddy's announced his Valkyrie tournament, I think, which is next week, I believe.
Tomorrow, Mike.
Tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Um, are you going to be doing that for that tournament?
Yes. So if you are watching the Zaddy Squirt Solos tournament tomorrow, but right before the final lobby, you will be able to draft any of the players in the final lobby. You get 3 people based off of their kills, their placement, and their damage. You will score points. The number one fantasy team, Mike, will be taking home 7,000 Apex coins.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
stakes. Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's a
Oh, no,
ton.
we don't joke around. We don't joke around, people. It's free to enter. You will have fun watching this, I swear.
Wow. Are you also going to be doing it for the LAN in July there?
So that is the big thing that we are gonna really try and promote after this is we are gonna try and do our own watch party. There's just one big thing that we're trying to work around, and I don't know how we're gonna work around it yet. So we'll talk about that in the future. But yeah, the eventual goal would be for me and Zaddy Squirt to do our own co-host watch parties of ALGS events, and you get to draft players playing in the ALGS live onto your team. And if you pick the best team, you're going to be winning coins just by watching a tournament. So we think it's a new
That's so
way for
sick.
fans to be able to interact and watch and have fun.
That is so sick. Last question before we get into the game here came actually from Heavy. How do you feel about max level, and should they increase that?
Yes, please. Okay. People talk about like how it feels like the game is stale, and just like let's all think about when we were all like whimsy little young fresh 250s getting Apex packs every couple levels, and everything was so nice. Here's the thing: if they're gonna raise the level cap, you got to have incentives. I low-key would love if they released like a like imagine like you get like 2 of each different type. So imagine 2 new golds for Loba, 2 new purples for Loba, like a stimulus into the store for each legend, and then raise the cap.
Mm,
And so you can start actually giving out free Apex packs back into your community. I think people would absolutely love that because that was one of the best things was we loved fresh Apex packs back in the day when you leveled up.
oh
That was
yeah,
dope. Yeah.
like getting an heirloom possibly out just for playing the game was like the the very best thing. Although, never happened to me. But fun fact as well about the level cap. Just today, the highest level player got banned for 8 years. So level 9,400 and something. Nesposito, the number one lifeline, bot lobbyer and generally bad dude.
Good. I will
Banned.
lower my brow. I will lower my brow of suspicion then. Nah, ban that man for 9. Give him one more.
Yeah, some disaster. All right, JB. This is a little bit of the fun part of the show. I've got 5 Revenant voice lines here, which I'm going to give you a portion of.
I'm so bad at these.
Dude, if this was Loba, I'd get 0 of 5. So I'm not, we're gonna see how it goes. So the first one is, are your friends nearby?
I can't wait to meet. Is it? I can't wait to meet them.
Close. I can't wait to make their acquaintance. There you go. That's a 3/4 star right there. Next one. I'm the blank.
I'm the kill leader? I don't know.
I'm the nightmare.
Fuck. Mike, I am so bad with Rev voice lines, dude. I am so bad with voice lines in this game in general. I went on a game show last week, and we did this with different characters, and I literally got destroyed by the guy that I was going up against in it. This is my weak point. All right, continue on.
Wait, Jack's saying I'm wrong. Jack, how? What's up, Andrew? I may be wrong, but I just copied it from what the wiki said. Next one, beg for your life.
Oh gosh, dude, I don't know.
It's good for the both of us.
Yep, I have definitely heard that one. Oh my god. Continue.
Oh, Jack's saying there's a variation. It's also I can't wait to meet them real close and personal. Next one, I just like watching.
I just like watching them die.
Close. Skin suit suffer.
I gotta start equipping more freaking quips, bro. I'm gonna start hitting these more on the reg. I literally have had the same 2 quips equipped for the last year.
Right. I guess you have to use crafting metal, so there's a chance you haven't even heard these ones. Last one here. I've seen the other side. There's nothing.
I was about to give you the there's nothing part. So yeah, we're gonna take the 0 for 5 on this one, Michael.
Oh, you got 3/4 of the first one.
Okay, so F plus then. Can I get the plus sign?
We're gonna hold you back a year, but it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, if I get to spend more time with you in this beautiful chat out here, I'll take it.
Let's go. The final part of that one. I've seen the other side. There's nothing. You're nothing.
Oh, that's spicy. I might need that one.
Yeah. So very mean, Rev, very rude. But we like the things that he can do on the screen for sure. Well, JB, this is all I had prepared, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Was there anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't get to?
Okay, so I need your unequivocal 1 out of 10 rating on the Loba Ultraman skin, and then I also need what is your dream influenced Loba skin?
Oh my god!
What is your dream collab to create the perfect Loba skin in your mind?
Wow. Okay, so first my rating would be 6.5, but it's growing every single day for me. Jeez, my dream collab. Man.
What Loba needs to exist? And you cannot take the cop out and say Bikini Loba. I will not allow that.
Vacation Loba?
There's something out there, Mike. There's something that needs to happen. Think about it. What would it be?
Man. Maybe I just need to watch more shows. Can't even think of. I think I would love to see this would be more comical for me rather than Loba sexy or whatever.
Okay.
But I would love to see Loba in a Hillary Clinton style power blazer.
Yo, you want Loba in a pantsuit?
Yes, yes.
That'd be funny. That would be Loba in a pantsuit would be very funny, but Mike, the people would riot. I feel like Loba's not showing enough skin. What is this?
Like, hello,
But
ma'am.
pantsuit
Can you step
Loba,
on me?
pantsuit, she'd go hard. Pantsuit Loba would absolutely go hard.
She
That's funny.
she is busy working in the Apex Legends, and she's also taking away your children from your dad. So, Lawyer Loba does not mess around.
Lawyer Loba does not mess around one bit, chat.
Disaster says Star Wars Loba. I think I know where you're going with that. Like a Leia Loba. Whoo. Jabba Loba.
I mean, if you go just regular flowing white cloak Loba, that could be flowy. That could be. They don't make wavy. They don't really make wavy skins though.
Yeah, like even like a Rey Loba would be really cool.
Yeah.
Those are the only two women I can think of in the Star Wars universe, but that's really cool, JB. What's your dream Revenant collab?
So it would be one of my followers sent me that. Well, he's in this chat right now. He sent me that there's a show called Death Note, and the god of death in the show, Ryuk, the Shinigami, I think would fit Revenant incredibly well. It's like mad diabolical looking, mad devious, mad dark.
Is that the guy with like the big, huge, like
massive wings? He's got like
right, not the guy with like the big, huge, like smile, right? Not that guy.
No, with the big smile.
Oh, same guy.
Yeah, with the dude with the huge smile.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be
cool.
like I love Rev skins that really make him like kind of terrifying because you know me, I like dropping out of trees down on people and stuff. Like I like playing into the spookiness aspect. So I would love like a really good Rev skin for jump scaring people. That being said, though, they got to stop bringing out my skins, Mike. They just brought back the one that I've been rocking for like the last 6-7 weeks. They brought it back out already, and I'm just like, it was the least worn one in the game, and now I'm having an identity crisis. So I think I'm gonna rock the Evangelion Rev coming out next week, though. So be looking out for that.
There you go. I can't think of that one off the top of my head. I don't know what that one
looks like. It's another anime reference from that new collection.
Oh, that one.
He looks like that big orange robot ish a little bit. Yeah, it's a reference to this show, Neon Genesis. So looking forward to piloting that Ava soon, I would say. Piloting that Ava soon.
And then again, hopefully people don't buy it, so then you can just cruise and be the Rev for a little bit of time there.
I always try to make sure my skins are as noticeable as possible, just in case anybody sees me. Because one time I saw that my boys were in the kill feed. Nerds Rope, you've played with him before. And me and Dr. Chronic, I was like, they know my skin. They will know it's me if they see a Rev with a sight teabagging. We got to the final two. They cranked like 3 G7 shots at me, and I'm just teabagging the entire time, not shooting. And then they came out, and then afterwards we boxed it out, and they came into the party. They were like, dude, we only knew it was you because you were wearing the skin. I was like, this is why we do this shit, chat. This is why we do this. So our friends know who we are.
There you go. That's awesome, JB. Well, just so we don't make this podcast 3 hours long, I know we could. I always enjoy talking with you, JB. Thank you so much for coming on the show for the third time. As before, I should actually do math in my head, but dude, thank you so much. We'll chat again. I always appreciate games with you. We got to play more. I just got to come out of my shell more, honestly. Yeah, dude, thank you so much. Thank you for being the great guy you are. And keep skill locking, keep it rocking, and have a great night, bro.
You keep on rocking and skill locking yourself. As always, it is my blessed honor to be joined or to be welcomed onto the greatest podcast in all of Apex Talk, 97.7, The Outlands. This is Jbish on Twitch, signing off. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Skill locking in a free world.
I'm telling you, bro, they're going to start coming into your head every time now.
Yeah. All right,
night, y'all.
Catch you later, dude. Tsunade Loba? I don't know who that is. Guys, what an episode. Disaster, thank you, bro. Thank you for the likes. And Jack, that was you that sent it? That's sick, bro. That's probably the only anime character I actually know, just by his base smile. Good vibes, dude. Thank you, dude. JB is such a freaking awesome guy. Such a good guy. But I'm going to close the show here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been episode number 30 of 97.7 The Outlands with myself, stereoomike, and Jbish, the absolute goat of a revenant and goat of a content creator as well. Hope you enjoyed our conversations. We'll be back again Thursday with another guest. Not sure who it will be yet, but make sure you go check out JB. Check out all the stuff he's done. He's extremely talented. And I hope you enjoyed the show, guys. We're gonna be back again soon.